All right, there's a story just developing. I want to bring back our senior congressional correspondent, Dana Bash. It involves the nominee to become the Secretary of Health and Human Affairs, Tom Daschle. Dana, what are you picking up?
Well, this nomination has been delayed for some time. Tom Daschle has not even had a confirmation hearing before the committee that will confirm him, and now we know at least part of the reason why, and that is that Tom Daschle was lent a car and driver by a friend for years, and he did not declare it on his income taxes as he should have. Now, we understand that since I believe the vetting process has begun, he has paid what he owed, but this has been part of the reason why his nomination has been held up. And in fact, the Senate Finance Committee is going to hold a closed-door meeting on Monday at 5 o'clock, which Daschle may actually attend to discuss this matter that obviously has put a kink in his nomination and his confirmation. I can tell you that this is just one of the issues. Another is a committee source actually confirms to us that they are looking into a relationship he also had with an education loan company. So these are just a couple of reasons why Tom Daschle has not become the HHS secretary to date, and there certainly is going to be a meeting on Friday to look into whether or not these are issues that really hinder his confirmation. All
right, we'll stay on top of this, Dana. Thank you. Meanwhile, a very public difference of opinion is brewing between CNN's chief business correspondent, Ali Velshi, and the popular radio talk show host Rush Limbaugh. At issue, just how effective are tax cuts? Here's what Ali said last night.
When companies take tax cuts, the idea is they use the savings to reinvest, build factories, employ people, and get going. You know what happens in a recession? Any cash that they get, any saving that they get, many companies will just hold. Many individuals, that's why they won't spend the money. They'll hold it to prepare for the worst. You know that on the other side of the recession, business is good, but you may not spend it until then. So anybody who tells you this is how it works is lying. We don't know how it works. We have never seen anything like this before.
Rush Limbaugh immediately took issue with Ali's comments, even calling him on it by name.
In fact, Mr. Velshi, the entire economy, the GDP rose 1.3% for all of 2008. It was down 3.8% in the fourth quarter, but it grew 1.8% the whole year. Now, Mr. Velshi, after calling me a liar, and I'm not even a business reporter, but you pretend to be, 1986, GDP down over 6%. We were in a recession. What was the centerpiece of Mr. Reagan's economic recovery plan, Mr. Velshi? Let me spell it for you. T-A-X space C-U-T-S.
All right, let's go to Ali right now. Ali, what do you make of all of this?
Well, it's a common argument. It's growing less common. People who think that tax cuts are the only solution. Now, I've never come out against the idea of tax cuts. Wolf, I'd like to pay less taxes myself. The issue is this. Unlike 1986 or 1982 or any other time, we have never had a near-complete freeze of credit. And what that means is that companies cannot raise money easily. That's why interest rates are so low, because nobody actually wants to borrow and nobody wants to lend. So this is an environment where people are not necessarily taking their money. I don't think on a long-term basis tax cuts are a bad idea. I don't know that they're the answer. But I was just making the point that it is not a widely held opinion that that is the only solution in a recession. This is very different. There are many, many measures by which this recession and this economic crisis we're in are very different from prior recessions. So, you know, it's a thing that people can disagree on, but that's the point I was making, and clearly Rush Limbaugh doesn't agree with that, Wolf.
Clearly, and Ellie's going to have a lot more on this in an hour on Campbell Brown's No Bias, No Bull. That's coming up 8 p.m. Eastern. Let's check back with Jack Cafferty once again for the Cafferty File. Jack.
Something considerably less weighty. The question this hour is, where would you like to live if you could live somewhere else? Daniel wrote from Budapest, Hungary. The only city I always wanted to live in is where you're seated in front of the camera right now. New York is the greatest place on earth. It's not a question for me. I wish I had a green card to work there or was a millionaire and could buy a condo on Fifth Avenue with a view of Central Park. Chris in California writes, anywhere I can find a good job. Charlie in Belen, New Mexico. I'm already there, Jack. I used to have to shovel snow. Now when it snows, I sit on my retired keister, and by the time I finish my cup of coffee, it's melted. I go outside at night. I see a sky full of stars. I can stand in the road and look out on an area larger than the state of Connecticut. What else would I want? And in New Hampton, New Jersey says, since I live in the state of New Jersey that has the highest tax rate and not much else, probably down south somewhere where the living is easy and the taxes are low. Mary Alice in Columbus, Ohio. After the week we've had, I would like to live in any city that actually understands the concept of snow and ice removal. Dave writes, Jack, I'd like to live over a deli. Frankie says, in the 60s, Jack, peace and love. And Casey says, I'd like to live with you, Jack, in order to brighten your day. If you didn't see your email here, you can go to my blog at cnn.com/Cafferty file and look for yours there among hundreds of others.
Have a great weekend, Jack. Thanks very much. See you back here on Monday. Jack Cafferty with the Cafferty File. In Florida, two players from the Arizona Cardinals share a laugh as they get ready for Sunday's Super Bowl. It's one of our hot shots. Pictures worth 1,000 words. And we're going to have a special word for you about Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. The Situation Room goes 6 days a week. We'll tell you what's going on right after this.
Macedonia, timeless.
News can happen anywhere. Down under and on top of the world. Under blue seas and into open skies. At round tables and at kitchen tables. On front lines and across finish lines. In concert halls and behind brick walls. And no matter where it happens, CNN is there.
Accountability. On AC360, that's what we're all about.
Keeping them honest, putting the pressure on politicians and people in power. All we want are honest answers, the truth.
The truth matters. We're keeping them honest. Someone has to. Raw, honest reporting. Anderson Cooper 360. Only on CNN.
Here's a look at some of the hot shots coming in from our friends over at the Associated Press. Pictures often worth 1,000 words. In Japan, a crew member checks on a new jet-powered partly with biofuel. In England, auto workers leave after a plant is temporarily shut down until June. In Brazil, Indians from the Amazon attend the World Social Forum with hopes of preserving the homeland. And in Florida, look at this. Two Arizona Cardinal football players exchange laughs while prepping for the Super Bowl, which happens to be, as you know, this Sunday. Pictures. Among our hot shots, pictures often worth 1,000 words. Please be sure to catch the Situation Room tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, Saturday night. We're starting 6 days of the Situation Room. Among our guests tomorrow, the former President Jimmy Carter, the new chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Senator Dianne Feinstein, and Gwen Ifill. She's got a new bestseller on President Barack Obama. We want you to join us tomorrow. The Situation Room, 6 p.m. Eastern. Until then, have a great weekend.